Hi, I am so happy to meet you here. So, after being with you verbally for the last month, I actually thought, what if I can actually come online and speak to you directly without spending you one big verbal newsletter on what exactly I want to say. So, now, if you can hear me clearly, if you can see me straight, and if you can hear my birds chirping, just say hi. Okay, I do know that it's pre-recorded and yeah, I cannot see you waving back at me. But point is, if you actually engage, especially with some bodily movements during videos like this, you are subconsciously activating your brain and this causes you to grasp more than how you would have if you have not waved at me back then. Okay, so another hi. Great. So let's get started. So yesterday we spoke about sales, right? But if you were thinking that I made it look like sales has more than just a few components, and if you think it's overwhelming for you, I want you to remember just one thing. Whether you know it, whether you actually understand it or not, sales does have so many other parts to it. But if you understand it better, now that you know that there are more than one parts, instead of being overwhelmed, you can look at it in a way that you can actually influence it. Now imagine if a device is working in hysteric ways for you and you do not know how to fix it. But if you know that there is more than one remote with which you can control the device, you will do whatever it takes to actually control it, right? Instead of freaking out that there are two remotes when one should have been sufficient. Now, that's exactly what the case is here. Sales has more than one component to it, which means you can influence the decision of your prospect every step along the way so that ultimately you can get them to think how you want them to think instead of falling prey to every other competitor out there. Sounds good, right? Okay. Today I'm here to take you through another episode, but this is about marketing. So, how many parts do you think marketing has? Okay, before all the parts, if you are someone who is a little confused of what is exactly the difference between marketing and sales, let me put it out in a way that you clearly understand. Sales is when the customer actually speaks to you and gets a deal closed. Marketing is what gives the confidence for your prospect to speak to you, sign up with you, work with you, and actually trust you with either their business or their life or whatever they are coming to you to improve. Now, marketing is the top of the funnel and also the middle of the funnel that actually brings people to the bottom of the funnel, which is making prospects your customers. Now, the best part about dealing with internet audiences, you can actually have a say and you can influence their decision making every step along the way. So, if we put it that way, marketing is a combination of four elements. Number one, increasing the reach, which is making yourself discoverable to more people than whom you already know you or whom you already know. Number two is creating an expert brand positioning. Now, being known by 1,000 people isn't a big deal, right? But how you are known as is what makes the biggest difference. And that is what is accomplished by an expert positioning. Number three is where you create a trust or you become more relatable with them. Now, this relatability is what makes them actually think about how you can make a difference in their lives. The first part is about knowing you. The next part is about knowing that you're great. But the third part is about this greatness can actually help them in your life. And fourth part is when they understand and they actually get and they actually come to a point where they want to know more from you. They look forward to hearing from you. Now that is where you build a real brand presence. Now, many people confuse branding with being more aware of or just knowing your name, right? That's a brand recall. If someone is able to recall your brand name when, let's say, a product or a service that you offer is in question, that means you have established a clear indicator of this is my brand and this is the service I provide. But this has nothing to do with how much a customer wants to work with you. But when you actually build this relatability, when you know that or when they know that they can actually work with you and you can make a difference in their lives, that is when you become a brand that can actually work for them. Now, question is, how do you want to take your B2B business into this space? Because if you think branding or all of these jargons is just for retail marketing or B2C marketing and B2B marketing works just on referrals or by people connecting with each other and so on, well, if you're looking to play small, that might actually be an approach that works for you. But if you're looking to scale further, if you actually want to work with high ticket clients, if you actually want to the way you do your business, in 2024, this is one of the best approach that you can actually take. Construct an inbound and an outbound sales funnel for your business. Now, an inbound sales funnel is what makes your brand magnetic, wherein, let's say, people who are searching for products like yours find you, and people who are actually looking to recommend, or people who are looking to connect with people in your industry find you. And finally, after finding you, after knowing you, when they see what you're capable of, they are ready to work with you. Now, this inbound strategy, when it means the outbound sales, wherein you reach out to your relevant prospects, you are actually creating a wave of audience that resonate with who you are as a person, what your business is providing, and ultimately this creates a ripple effect that finally turns back to you as profits. Now, okay, the difference between, if I should put it very clearly for you, the main preliminary difference between running a high ticket business and running a, let's say, a mid-sized business is just one thing, and that is the scale in which you're operating. Let's say if you're working with a mid-sized client, you are able to deliver services, create outcomes, and execute projects. But all of this for a currency that is mid-size. But let's say if you're doing the same for a high ticket client, you're doing the same set of services, executing the same number of projects, but for a higher size of profits. And this difference lies in two things. Number one, if you see where you place yourself. You might have heard the story of this boy who got a watch from his grandfather, right? His grandfather gave a watch to this boy, telling him, how much do you think this watch can actually go for? And the boy was asking, how much do you think this watch can actually go for? What is it worth? And then the grandfather says, go find out. So when he goes to a shop nearby, the shopkeeper says, this watch can go probably for rupees 100 or so. Another person, probably another showroom, they say, I can take it for around 500 if you're looking to exchange it. Another person, when they actually go to a veteran, he says, this is a remarkable watch. I am maybe going to take it for around 5,000 rupees or so. And finally, when he goes to an antique shop, that person says, this watch is the only one that's actually existing from this edition, and I will give you 5 lakhs for this watch. Now, if you see the difference, it isn't about the product, it isn't about anything. It's about two things here. One, the positioning that you create for that particular watch. And secondly, the place that you are in. The difference between a mid-sized client and a high-ticket client cannot be emphasized more than this, It's all about delivery and what you're providing. Let's say in my case, I tell my prospects, I'm going to set up a simplified sales system for you that generates outbound leads, nurtures them, and prompts them to conversion, all with just one system and one sales funnel. Now, ultimately, if you stick around with it for, let's say, just 90 days, you're able to get back more, manifest more than what you just invested. But point is, you also see a difference within just 14 days, and that's the magic of it. But many times what happens, people just want to have a trial version of it. Or they say, you know what, I just want to see how it goes on for a week or 10 days. But do you think the same amount of challenges actually faced when you enter a high ticket segment? Well, probably not. I've had clients who pay me 12 to 13 lakhs upfront just to have the system established, and they got tremendous result. Now, this is exactly what is different when you create a positioning. So, as a B2B founder, if you are ready to create this positioning and transition into the high ticket segment, wherein you can position your services for value rather than just keeping it as yet another utility-based product, then I welcome you to the high-level entrepreneur. So this high-level entrepreneur, the signature product that we are creating, wherein it's not like a product but a process wherein we work closely with B2B entrepreneurs and create a fantastic market positioning, create a high-ticket transition for them, and ultimately establish our signature HT-SaS system, which is a high-ticket sales advancement system wherein you can automate almost everything from your outbound lead generation, identifying the prospects with higher intent, nurturing them, and finally getting them to book a meeting with you, all just through one system. You know the best part of it? This is done especially by founders who do not have a sales team, and it takes less than 60 minutes a day. without creating another space in your overheads, we are able to clearly increase your profits with a very good search. And that is what high level entrepreneur is for you. In 2024, if you are looking forward to make this transition within just 90 days, then I invite you to book a discovery call or join the upcoming webinar, The High Ticket Entrepreneur, wherein I'll give you a gist of what this whole system is about, and you will know what you're missing out or why this is the best thing that could have happened for you. Trust me, you got nothing to lose, but everything to gain in this time that you actually choose to take action. So I invite you to take the next step forward, and with this, I look forward to seeing you soon. That being said, festival greetings and signing off for now, Saranya Narayana Moorthy.